Let's look at the next most common form of attack. This can be very tricky. Hockey punching. Every Canadian grows up watching this. Every Canadian grows up using it. Again, it's considered crude by a lot of martial arts instructors because they don't understand the reality of it and they've never actually faced it in the street. Being a Canadian, we've all been hockey punched either on the ice or off. So the idea is here, the guy is going to grab you with his hand, probably his weak hand because he wants to shovel in some shots with his good hand. This is really dangerous because he can do both things at once. He can disrupt your balance and he's hitting you with the other hand. So the idea that I'm going to block these punches becomes really problematic if I'm unstable because where I think my hand's going to be a split second later when he throws me off balance, it's not there anymore and the punch gets through. Now we've looked at how to deal with lapel grabs, we've looked at how to deal with punches. Now we need to combine those concepts and put them together in one self-defense situation, and that's difficult. We're going to look at it. Once again, the pressure is divided into two types. He's either pushing me away to make space for a bigger punch, or he's pulling me in to make space for a closer punch. And he may switch in the middle of it and it becomes dangerous that way. Let's look at the first concept, is I need to protect my head. So as he starts to punch at me, I only have to cover one side of my head and I can use this other hand to feel whatever else I need to do. Because in this case, I know where this hand is. He's using it to throw me around, but the punches are only going to come on one side. So instead of trying to block him, I'm going to cover. I also need to try and get as close to him as possible. If he's doing some kind of side-to-side motion or pulling me in, that's fairly easy to do. If he's pushing me away, we're going to have to look at that one a little differently. But let's look at a more common scenario where he's trying to augment the force of his punch by pulling me into it. That's very, very common. So I can generally treat this the same way as I would a regular punch. I just have to be very careful of my balance. As he pulls me in, I'm going to wedge him here to make sure that punch misses me. A lot of the time, I'm going to be able to pull this arm into me, and if I happen to get at this angle, one of the simplest solutions is the old-fashioned o sotogiri, or outside reap from there. Again, this is a throwing technique, a classical throwing technique that you would learn in Jiu-Jitsu if you're doing your stand-up portion.